Ever since the kidnapping of 3 Israeli teens on June the 12th, Hamas has been hitting Israel with increasingly sophisticated missiles. We need to understand Hamas's strategy as not just part of its war against Israel, but as part of Iran's larger battle against its enemies in the region. Everyone's focused on the fighting going on right now between Hamas and the Palestinians and Israel. But that shouldn't be separated out from the war that's engulfing the entire region. There are 3 key points to keep in mind in moving towards an understanding of and solutions for the broader regional conflict now facing us in the Middle East. Without Iran, Hamas is weak. We learned that in the last couple of years when Hamas decided to turn against its Iranian sponsors and against their proxy, Bashar al-Assad in Syria. The Iranians cut Hamas off, they stopped shipping weapons to them, they stopped giving them money, and it harmed the group very seriously. That's since turned around, and in the last few months the Israelis stopped a shipment of Iranian weapons being sent to Hamas. Those same weapons are now being used to great effect by Hamas against Israel. What we need to understand is that Hamas is not about governing the Palestinians. They're about destroying the state of Israel. That's their agenda, but it's also Iran's agenda. Right or wrong, and I think right, there's a perception that the United States is disengaging from the Middle East. It was very clear from the moment that Barack Obama came into office that he did not want to do anything that George W. Bush did.
As a candidate for this office, I pledged I would end this war. As president, that's what I'm doing.
And being the anti-Bush means turning our back on the Middle East. Whether you're looking at Iraq or Syria or Egypt or Yemen or Iran or the current Hamas-Israel conflict, what you see is a lower U.S. profile. You see the U.S. doing very little to support our allies, very little to support moderate Sunni and Shiite groups, and everybody in the region recognizes that it's in that context that Hamas feels encouraged to continue attacking Israeli civilians. The most important thing for the United States to do now is to engage with our natural allies in the region, whether it's the Free Syrian Army in Syria, or it's moderate Palestinians and the Israeli military, or it's the Sunni tribes and the Iraqi central government. We need to begin to work seriously with these groups to arm them, to train them, and to help them to defeat our shared enemies. But if we don't do that, if we don't take that opportunity, what will happen is that we will see a set of circumstances in the Middle East so threatening to the United States, so threatening to our allies, that eventually we will be forced to intervene ourselves. And that is absolutely the worst possible outcome.